Chapter 12. Fabiola, your writing is good, but I have to give you a low grade because you didn't back up any of your claims, my English teacher, Mr. Nolan, says, looking at my paper and not at me. I wonder if he can see a reflection of my face on that paper. If he can see me, my whole story. Claims? I ask. You were supposed to write a research paper, not a personal essay, he says, handing me back the homework. There are some interesting ideas here, but they're unsubstantiated. You need to gather some sources, use quotes, and add a works cited page. Use textual evidence. He quickly gathers up his things on his desk and leaves the classroom. English is the last class for the day, so I thought there'd be time for him to explain everything to me. I've been writing essays and poems in English my entire life. I went to an English school in Haiti. It doesn't make sense that my paper isn't perfect. I stare at all his markings, comments on the sides, question marks, whole sentences crossed out. I feel attacked because I wrote down everything I knew about the Haitian revolutionary hero Toussaint Louverture and why he is important to me. But Mr. Nolan thinks everything I said was all wrong. Someone coughs while I'm putting the essay back into my folder. Imani is standing in the doorway of the classroom. She already has on her coat and a gray scarf wrapped around half her face. Why do you look like you're about to cry? I'm not going to cry. I blink several times and swallow hard to make sure. Were you trying to get Mr. Nolan to help you? Waste of time, she says. I got a D on my paper, I tell her. A D? Did you write it in English? I mean, good English? Of course I did. I know how to write in English. I rush past her and into the hallway. Other students are making their way out too, and I tried to spot Donna or Pri in the crowd. Look, I always get A's on my papers. You can take a look at yours. I can take a look at yours if you want. At first, I don't want Imani's help. I want to write essays perfectly by myself. But then I realized that writing papers for Mr. Nolan is just another American system I need to game, as Pri would say. I never see Pri doing any schoolwork, but somehow she doesn't fail her classes, and Donna doesn't even carry a book bag. She takes a purse to school, and I wonder what sort of magic she does to fit any books into it. Maybe Imani knows the answers. She always has a giant, heavy book bag, as if she's selling goods at the market. I stop, and Imani almost bumps into me. Yes, I say, please. I don't understand what Mr. Nolan wants. He says I'm a good writer, but I'm still doing something wrong. All right, let's go somewhere and I'll take a look at it. You can pay me back by getting me something to eat. I don't question why Imani always wants to make sure I'm okay and offers to help me with my schoolwork. I'm only thankful. This is one door Papa Legba has opened for me. Friendship. Imani has big opinions about the world, and maybe she clings to me because I listen. I am amused by everything she says. McDonald's food is really plastic. Downtown Detroit will be all white in 10 years. The government watches us through our cell phones. I only laughed when she tries to prove it by showing me an article or video on the internet. Maybe she and Kasim can be friends too, because he likes to talk about the same things. I text Kasim for the address to the cafe. He always asks me to come see him, but I never wanted to have Chantal take me over. Now that I have a friend, I get to taste a slice of this Detroit freedom. But I still let Chantal know where I am and that Kasim will take me back home. Imani and I walk to the corner of our school's block to catch the bus that goes down Verner Highway. Once on the bus, I start to walk to the back, but Imani pulls my arm toward a seat next to her. Always sit close to the bus driver, she whispers. I think of the small tap-tap trucks in Port-au-Prince where Maman told me to sit near the back so I can jump out in case anything happens. He's your boyfriend, Fabiola? Imani asks after I tell her that we're going to see Kasim at his job. I shake my head, but the smile on my face tells a different answer. Don't lie to me. I'm trying to help you out. Now, since you'll be meeting up with your boyfriend after school and all, this is the 49 bus, and it goes down Verner until you get to 21st. Then you're on Bagley. We're going to get off on Bagley and Walsh and walk to Michigan Avenue. Got it? I take note of this bus and the places it passes. The streets are even wider here, and there don't seem to be enough cars and enough people to fill up all the space. The sky stretches long and wide, and maybe this bus can go to the very edge of the world, or at least to my mother in New Jersey. I jump when Imani calls my name, and I don't notice that 15 minutes have gone by. Maybe she was talking all this time, but my mind was on the wide, endless roads. When we're off the bus, we walk a few blocks to Kasim's cafe and stand outside. We watch through the wide window as Kasim serves coffee behind the counter. He is so cute. I've seen him around. He comes to the school with Donna's boyfriend. I stop smiling. Do you know Donna's boyfriend? Dre? Who doesn't know Dre? He makes my skin itch. I don't know what your cousin sees in him. He looks good and all, but he still be looking at girls even when he comes to pick Donna up. And the guys at school can't even say hi to Donna when he's around. Dre was checking for her way back when we were in middle school, and he'd bring a different friend each time so they could hook up with her friends. All these girls would hang around Dre's car like he's a celebrity. Not me. Did Kasim, what did you say, hook up with a girl? Nobody really liked Kasim because he wasn't a baller. You could tell by his clothes and sneakers that Dre wasn't even trying to hook him up with dough, talking about everybody has to earn that shit. Looks like Kasim is doing just fine without Dre's dough. Dough? Cash. Money. Dang, Fabiola. Do I have to translate everything? What are your cousins teaching you? We both laugh until the door to the cafe opens and Kasim's smile reaches me and warms my whole body. May I help you, ladies? He says with a fake deep voice as he holds the door open while we walk in. We have to do some homework, I say, trying to hide my smile. We sit down at an empty table and I avoid talking to Kasim because he's supposed to be working. Imani removes her coat and unloads her bag, and I take out my essay, but keep my coat on. I don't like how I look in my uniform. Imani starts to tell me how to fix my essay, but my eyes are glued to Kasim. He's extra friendly to the customers and smiles too much. He whistles while he pours coffee and other hot drinks from a machine. Every few seconds, he turns to me and smiles or winks, and once blows a kiss. Imani kicks me under the table. I snap out of it and try to turn my attention to the essay. Mr. Nolan said this is not a research paper. I have to put in textual evidence, I say, as if I've been listening to her the whole time. I can't believe you brought me here just so you can make googly eyes at your boyfriend, Imani says. You didn't hear a word I said. I just told you the same thing. I can't fool her, so I laugh. She laughs. A white couple next to us shoots us looks, and we cover our mouths and laugh some more. Kasim comes over and places 2 mugs of hot chocolate on our table. He purposely touches my hand, and tiny, sharp things travel all up and down my skin. Imani teases me. We sip on our warm drinks. Kasim keeps finding reasons to come to our table. We giggle some more, and the couple sitting next to us finally moves to another table. I am like air now, or a bubble. Delicate. I can pop at any time. And I do. When Imani gets up to use the bathroom, I pull out my wallet to pay for the hot chocolates. A card falls out onto the table. I turn it over to see the name Detective Shauna Stevens in bold black letters. I tap the edge of the card on the table, thinking if I should make the first move. She already knows where I go to school, and I'm sure she knows where I live. I glance out the wide window and wonder if she is watching me from some hidden place right now. This Detective Stevens called me a smart cookie, but she's a whole smart cake. Of course my cousins would not want to tell Andre because they've known him for so long. But me, she knows that I don't care about that guy, especially if he cheats on my cousin and is mean to her. And most important, she knows that I want nothing more right now than to have my dear Maman with me. I try to be like air again, but thinking of my mother is like a long rope keeping me tied to earth.